about you go, team?
Well, you obviously know Razor very well. What are your impressions of him as the All Blacks coach?
Yeah, I mean, Razor certainly brings his own style to things, and whilst it's been a pretty low-key camp, connection's a huge thing for him. So we've obviously got a good relationship already, but a few of the other boys might have worked as closely with him as others. So just getting to know them and just giving a pretty fresh vibe. I think it's early in the season, we're a while away from the first test, so nothing too serious. But yeah, just keeping as a group.
Yeah, what about you, Damian? I'm not sure how well you know him or if you've been coached by him before, but yeah, what are your sort of impressions of him so far? How have you found that connection?
Yeah, Will summed it up pretty well. He brings his own style to the environment. It's been good. He brings a lot of energy, and I guess it's been a low-key camp for the last few days, but had a little bit to do with him in the past. New Zealand 20s, coached me at the Barbars, which was a lot of fun. So last few days have been great. So looking forward to hopefully playing under.
I suppose when you've got an entirely new management, or pretty much an entirely new management group coming in, how important is it to just have those days, I suppose, before the test season rolls around to connect and I suppose get to know each other a bit more?
Yeah, it's really important. Obviously, first test is a long way away, so to be able to come together as a group from the previous year, I guess is good to connect with the new guys and the new faces, particularly in the management. And obviously, we've got a big Super Rugby campaign ahead, so we've got to put our hands up there first, and hopefully we're back introducing ourselves later in the year.
Have you had any conversations with Razor as to your role in the black jersey this year?
Not as of yet. It's more coming back and trying to get some good numbers in our testing, to be honest. So always managed to do that. And we've had conversations in the past, and obviously with a couple of other coaches in the management. So it's obviously, like I said, it's a big Super Rugby campaign we've got ahead of us, and hopefully can put my hand up for that 10 jersey.
Well, same question.
For the 10 jersey.
But just what position you think plays?
I think focus, I guess, for the next 6 months is around Super Rugby and performing well here. It's good to see a Crusaders jersey here in the media scrum, but I've usually played at fullback for the Crusaders, so we'll see what happens there. But it's just about having a good campaign of footy and hopefully get into the ABs, and then from there see what happens. Obviously, Bodie's coming back, which is exciting. So for me, it's just about having a good Super campaign and working on the things I need to, and then we'll see what happens in July when we get there.
And Coach said that what happened last year, the World Cup campaign, hasn't been brought up at all so far. I mean, how are you feeling? Like now that you've had a bit of time to breathe out a bit, like what's your feelings looking back?
Yeah, I think there was certainly a patch of the summer where you spent a bit of time thinking about it. Probably took a while to kind of get over it, or just have a bigger picture look at it. But I think now reasonably refreshed about heading back into footy, and it was certainly a pretty awesome experience over in France. Learned a lot and enjoyed the whole thing. So as a group, we haven't really touched on it too much. It's obviously a bit of a new group, both management. There'll be some new players coming in the new year as well. So definitely looking forward.
For the both of you, how's the fitness feeling? Early days, but feeling all right?
Not too bad actually. Yeah, we had fitness testing yesterday. Boys ran at Broncos, so everyone hit their numbers, which was good. Obviously, the summer's a good time to sort of catch up with family, refresh from what's been a big year last year. So boys come back, hit their numbers, done what we needed to do. So it's always a pretty nervous time of the year, the first day back, but everyone's in pretty good shape, and obviously we've got a few more weeks leading up to our first game of Super against these blokes. So still a bit more time to look after the body.
Did anyone do particularly well on the Broncos?
Cam Roygard,
Cam was the star of the Bronco, and Damian was the star of the bench press.
It's not my forte, the gym. Did what I need to do and got out. So it's plenty of room for improvement anyway.
Damian, Razor was just talking about wanting people to keep an open mind about potentially picking for the All Blacks from overseas. As someone who's just recommitted to playing in New Zealand, how would you feel if, say, Richie Mo'unga was someone who became available for selection, having not made that decision?
I guess it's obviously something the New Zealand Rugby haven't put forward in the past, but it's obviously you want your best players playing for your country, but whether that happens or not, it's up to not what I get paid to do and make those decisions, but well above my paycheck. So we'll wait and see what happens in the future.
What's the biggest thing you noticed about Razor, sort of getting to see him up close probably for the first time as a coach in a few years?
I think what Will said, like just his ability to bring everyone together and make those connections within literally a couple of days. So he's very easygoing. He's just himself the whole time. He doesn't change who he is. He's very energetic. He's fresh, and the guys he's got around him with the new management are great as well. So yeah, it brings a lot of energy. It's great.
Well, has there been anything different about him now that he's the All Blacks coach, like the Crusaders coach?
We've had probably 24 hours in camp, so yeah, reasonably difficult to kind of gauge that. But I think Razor's he's his own man, and he's not someone who I think changes for the environment he's in. He knows that it's I guess a step up and different from what he's experienced in the past, but he's also pretty content with I guess the person he is and the way he wants to behave and the way he wants to inspire people. So I'm sure that throughout his sort of tenure he'll do that, and there'll be pretty similar stuff happening.
In terms of expectation, obviously he had a sit down chat with you guys, I presume. What did he sort of outline about what he wants from you guys as a group collectively, about sort of your attitude that you bring, etc.?
Yeah, I think for us it's obviously we had been in the All Blacks obviously last year in the past in the new group. There'll be a lot of new guys coming through, but for us I guess it's about just owning our stuff throughout the year. Obviously there's the expectations as All Blacks to go back and perform for your super club, and making sure we're doing that throughout the year and leading by example for the rest of the players coming through. So yeah, owning our stuff for the year, making sure we have a good season so we put our hands up to be picked for that first series. So for us it's going back to our super clubs, really owning that and leading by example. So always are excited for that challenge, and it's not going to be an issue for the players who are in here.
Damien, do you try and walk toward the opportunity that might be there at first five this year, or do you try and put it out of your mind when you sort of think about your form and your Super Rugby campaign, or is it good to have kind of that opportunity to try and walk towards and to try and embrace?
I think so. You got to embrace it. Like it's there's all this opportunity there this year. So yeah, for me, I guess I've always been a sort of a person who takes it week by week, but you got to take care of your performance. You got to prepare well, and then obviously it's clear and obvious there's an opportunity there in the first five position, and that's the position I want to be playing, and that's where I want to be, being able to lead this team. So I know there's a lot to go and a lot of work to be done throughout the year before that first team gets named. So I'm really excited for that opportunity, and can't wait to rep them with the Chiefs and then hopefully this team later in the year.